if I can be in the UK, you can too, okay? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Abby. I am not a Ghanaian based content creator. I am a UK based content creator. Okay. That was just by the way. But from the title, you can see that today I'm going to tell you how I relocated to the UK. I am going to spill all the tea, all of it. But before I even get into that, right? If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Comment what videos you want to be seeing from me, like this video immediately, and then make sure you have watched my previous videos before this one. You are so welcome to this community. I can assure you that this is the best community on YouTube. Wait, did I say tea? No, we have juice here right now, so we are going to spill the juice. Let me pour the juice. Pour the juice right now and get ready. So cheers if you're watching from home. I hope you're also taking your juice, taking tea or whatever you want to have right now. Cheers. Let's get into the video. So because I do not want to leave anything out, I wrote a lot in this book. So if you see me looking down or anything, just know I'm looking in the book that I wrote everything that you need to know to be able to relocate the way I did. So just for context, I was previously studying in a university in Ghana doing my undergraduate studies when I decided to transfer from my university in Ghana to a university here in the UK. I applied in my third year. That was my first semester in my third year. That was when I applied. So yeah, just to get that so you know where I came from and where I am now. From here on, I'm going to be telling you what you need to do first before you even apply. Unlike the UK, in Ghana, you have to study 4 years to complete your undergraduate studies. And in the UK, you have to study 3 years, finish your undergraduate studies. We're going to be breaking everything into 3 stages: the application process, the CAS, and then the visa application. First things first, before you even think about applying for a school in the UK, ensure that you have a passport. There's nothing like, let me finish applying the school and then during the visa stage I can get my passport. No, because during the school application you will be asked for your passport number. So if you do not have your passport, you cannot even progress from the school application to the others. The second thing you want to do is to make sure that you have researched on the city you want to study in. And just so you know, London is not the only city in the UK, guys. A lot of time when people think of studying in the UK, they're only thinking of London. London actually has a high living cost, and this will reflect in your visa application if you choose London. There are other beautiful cities like Manchester, Birmingham, so many cities in the UK that you can study in that have a lesser living cost compared to London. But if you can afford it, that is fine. You can choose London. Now, after you are done with researching the city you want to go to, you want to make sure that you are researching a school in the city you have chosen, and the school should have the program you want to study. Again, the school should have affordable tuition. So after doing all that research, we know right now, we know the city we want to go to, we know the school we want to go to, we know the program you're going to offer, and then we will start the application process, which is the first stage of the entire process. Before you even start the first stage, make sure that you have all these documents ready so that you don't go and start and then wait and come and it will waste your time. So make sure that you are having all these documents that I'm listing on the screen. Some universities in the UK will want to receive your transcripts directly from your university. So you can just tell your university to email the transcript to them, or however you can go about it. And then other universities would want you to send it to them yourself. So you can just have a scan of it and then send it to them during the application process. For me, I sent it to them myself. So all the schools I applied to were fine with me sending my transcript to them through the application portal. And I applied to a ton of schools, so many schools. You want to be making sure that you're applying to a number of schools so that if you don't get admission in your school of choice, you're not too disappointed. You still know that you're coming to the UK if that is what you want to do. For the English proficiency, most schools in the UK are fine with getting English attestation from your previous university. So you can just go to your university and ask for the English attestation, and some university will require that you write IELTS. So the recommendation is I got my letters from my school, my lecturers gave it to me. But if you're applying for a master's program, it is wise to use a recommendation letter from your lecturers and probably your boss at work or your supervisor. So I put all these documents together before I even started my application process. And I started my application, I think, late November, getting to the first week of December in 2023. At the time, I was still in my third year in university, my previous university, in my first semester of my third year. That was when I started my application, and I started the application. Before I started, I had done my personal statements for every program I was applying, because some of the schools did not have the exact program. And like I mentioned earlier, I applied a lot of schools, like I think I applied more than 5 schools. Yeah. And so some of them didn't have my program. I was studying business administration in my previous university, and some of the universities did not have business administration. So I had to make my personal statement suit the program I was applying to each, I was applying for to each school. Then before I did that, I had everything. So I just started the application and then I uploaded everything. By the end of the first week in December, I was done with my application, like everything, every application. Guess what? I got an offer in January. Like people apply for schools and then they get the offer like 2 months afterwards or something. But I got the offer in, I think, first week still. The happiness you get after you get an offer. And my offer was unconditional offer. I was so happy when I got my offer. Usually, the schools will give you conditional offer. Conditional offer simply means that you have to do some things before they give you the unconditional offer. But my school, the school I'm in now, they gave me unconditional offer even before I did the things I was supposed to do. So that when you get your offer from the school, yeah, there are things you will need to do. And that will take us to the second stage of the whole process, which is the CAS. Okay. After you get your offer, your school will ask you to pay a deposit. The deposit is an amount of your school fees, which will be deducted at the end of this process. I will be telling you about it. So for my school, I was asked to pay £4,000, which was part payment of my school fees. There are some schools that will ask you to pay 3,000, others will ask you to pay 8,000. It depends on the school you choose. Okay. After I paid my deposit, I started the CAS process. And during the CAS, there are also things you need to do there to get your CAS number. CAS number is what you'll be using to apply for your visa. For the TB test, there are centers in Accra. I know about 3 centers in Accra where you can go and do the TB test. And those centers are the only ones. You cannot just walk into any hospital to go and do it. And my TB test, I paid a little over 1,000 cedis. And I know of another center in Kumasi where you can do your TB test. This is where, if you choose a school in London, you will have a higher living cost as compared to someone who chose a different city. In the UK, the cost of living in London is higher than any other city. So if you choose to go to a school in London, you will be more than £12,000. And if you choose to study in a different city that's not London, you'll be paying a little over £9,000. Bank statement, guys, do not go to your bank app to download the bank statements from there. It will be rejected. So go to your bank and ask for a bank statement and make sure the bank statement is signed and stamped. Otherwise, it will not be accepted. So I got all these uploaded. And usually the CAS takes about 2 weeks. It takes about 2 weeks to get your CAS. But guess what? I got my CAS in less than 24 hours. Mind blowing. Remember, I have a hack for this. I know how to make sure that this process goes smoothly and you get your response quickly. So if you are looking to study in the UK, US, Canada, Australia, Norway, China, any country you want, text me on my WhatsApp number or send an email, or you can simply send me a text message on Snapchat and I'll reply you quickly. I'll get back to you and make sure that your dreams come true. If I can be in the UK, you can too. Okay? So text me and I will help you. God is good. I'm so grateful because I have never had anyone apply for a CAS and got it in less than 24 hours. Even my school, like I know some people who are applying to my school too, because my school created a group for us. And I didn't hear of anyone applying and getting it in less than 24 hours. After I got my CAS approved, I applied my visa on the same day. And this is taking us to the last stage of the entire process, the visa application, right? Now, these are the things you need to apply for your visa. CV is dependent on if you have a study gap. If you completed school like 5 years ago, maybe you completed your undergraduate studies 5 years ago, and now you want to go and study your master's, so you need to add a CV if you have a study gap. Even if it's not master's you are going to study, maybe you completed school a long time ago and your under you're going to do undergraduate studies, you still need a CV to tell them what you were doing during that period while you were not in school. During the application, you have to be very vigilant. Make sure you are not making mistakes because you can pay your school fees, you can get your CAS approved, and if you make any mistake during the visa stage, your visa could be denied. So you have to make sure that you are getting everything right from the beginning. The information you use from the beginning, use the same information, cross check to make sure that your email, everything, your address, everything you have given them is correct. Okay. After uploading every document and filling out all the information required, you will have to pay for IHS. I'll put how much I paid on the screen so you see how much I paid for IHS and then how much I paid for visa. And then after that is out the way, you have to book for biometrics. Let me tell you, you see that biometrics saying when you are going, they'll tell you that you should come 15 minutes before your appointment time. But the biometric is an appointment basis, so you book it, or you can decide to walk in. For me, I booked it. And then they told me to come at 8:30. And they'll tell you that you should come 15 minutes before your appointment time. But go there 3 hours. I got there at 8, and the number of people there. So the moment I got there, I was like, what? I should have come earlier. I should have come earlier. I should have made sure that I get here at 6 a.m. Because how am I going to join this queue? And what time am I going to do everything? And what time am I leaving here? So I just told God, God, I want to leave here early. At that point, I just told God. So we're all outside waiting. Immediately, one of the people from TLS came out and they were calling us to come. They said we should, because at the time we were scattered. Some people were in a queue, some people were sitting, some people were, and so they said we should come and form a new queue, right? A new queue so they will know how to go about it. The moment they said it, someone just looked at me and said, come and stand here. And I was the first person they attended to. Wow. Like I said, you have to make sure that as you're doing this, you're also praying to God. Okay, you're praying to God because in as much as you do the right thing, there are times that you do everything and you still not get the results you want. So make sure that you are praying to God and telling God to take the lead, okay? Because I don't know how that happened. For the biometric, the things you are supposed to go with is your passport and your checklist. You can print the checklist, they'll send it to you so you can print it. But when I went there, they didn't even check the checklist. But usually you have to go with that because a lot of people will go with that. When you go, you see people with their checklist and then their passports. So I went there and they took my passport. They didn't ask for the checklist. Then they asked me to mention my name. So I think it was recorded or something. I don't know what they were doing. But I was in a room with someone and then they asked me to mention my name and then my date of birth. That was it. And then I finished and went home. When you finish, that's it. They'll just tell you to go. When your visa is ready, they'll send you an email. Okay. You see, that's living there, going home and staying because at that point, there's nothing you can do. You have no control over it. You have submitted everything you have to submit. You have done everything that's in your control. At this point, the rest is out of your control. It is just God and them. that time, if you have not gone to church before, if you don't go to church, that's the time that you start. You start going to church every day because at that point you don't know what to expect, especially if you have conditioned your mind to go into the UK. Because at this point, you have gone through all the process, you've paid your school fees, you've paid visa application, you've paid IHS. You are thinking you don't want to be denied this visa because at this point you are going, you have invested. At this point, you have invested a lot. At that point, prayers. At that point, you that's when you know that, oh, God created me. God is the one who created me, not anybody. I waited. That so after you come home, there's a way to track your visa. Actually, you can go to the TLS site and then you can check where your visa has gotten to. If it's with the decision makers, if it has gone back to TLS, because it is TLS that will call you again to come for your passport when your visa is ready. 14 days later, hmm, 14 days later, I received an email from TLS to say my passport is ready for collection. And so at that point, you will not know when they send you the email to come for your passport, you will have no idea. You wouldn't know that you have your visa or not. They won't tell you. It is when you go for the visa, it is when you go for the passport that you will know if you have your visa or not. But I don't know when they sent me the email to come for my passport, I just was so sure. I just felt like I had the visa. So I was so happy. I went there. The way I dressed nicely that day when I was going for my passport. Hey, forget the way I dressed nicely. And then I went there for my passport. And then when I opened it, I saw the stamp. I saw the stamp and my visa was approved in 14 days, guys. 14 days. I'm so grateful to God. Like, I cannot even say how much grateful I am to God because I know it is His doing. And so, whatever you're doing, make sure that you're putting God first. So, that is how I got my visa approved in 14 days. And right now, I am a UK based content creator. Okay. And an international student. If you have watched the video to this point and you have still not subscribed, please subscribe, like this video, comment what videos you want to be seeing from me, and I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye.